Here's a few more clay tips and tricks. Rule number 1, if something is thicker than your thumb, it needs to be hollow. So this little dino head that I sculpted is thicker than my thumb. So I'm pulling out some loop tools and deciding which one best fits the size of the piece. Going with this medium-sized loop tool, twisting it around on the inside, getting out that extra clay, checking how much more clay I need to get out. You want it to be like an even thickness all around and not too thick. Trick number 2, smooth the crumbs and rough edges with paintbrush and a little bit of water. This guy has a lot of crumbs and kind of rough edges in there. So I'm going to spray just like a little bit of water on my table, dab my paintbrush in it. I want to use a firm paintbrush, not a kind of floppy one, so that it can actually like smooth out those crumbs. If I smooth it out too much, I might have to go back in with a cleanup tool and pull that clay away. The cleanup tool will leave a better line than a needle tool. It'll leave less of those burrs and crumbs. I switched to a smaller paintbrush here to try to kind of get into those lines better. And you can see that cleanup tool pulling the clay out. Now I'm going around with that smaller tool and kind of cleaning up any other little marks and lines, using something hard to kind of smooth them out, and then going through with the paintbrush. Now I can go through and add intentional texture that I want to have on my piece. So I'll show you this all together. Here I am scratching and scoring, using the serrated rib to do so quickly. I'm going to put a little bit of water on the bottom of that and then just set it where I want it. And that water will leave a mark, and that way I'll know where to score on my piece. Another little trick. I don't have any slip right now, so I'm just going to use a little bit of water mixed with clay for my table. That'll work just fine. And then I'm pressing it, right, sticking it to the clay piece. And then to smooth it out, I'm going to go along that seam with a paintbrush. So I don't have all those little crumbs along that seam. I'm going to go along the seam with a paintbrush. And that will kind of blend and smooth those pieces together. And then any other parts that still look kind of crumbly and rough. I don't ever want to have sharp pieces or sharp edges on my piece. After they get fired and glazed, they could cut you. So you always want to kind of make sure that your edges are smoothed out nicely. But you can really see that paintbrush does the trick. And just with a little bit of water, cleans it all up nicely. Tip 3, keep things that are sticking out thick at the base where they attach, like an upside down cone, and not longer than a pinky. So it would look like this. The base is thicker than the tip of it. On this example, the one on the right has lots of attachments, so that would be a good one. The one on the left might break off. It only has one little attachment point and the big piece sticking off.